guy that actually brings in
shaving stick. It's one of the major stakeholders in Cubana. This guy was just telling me that Cubana made 400 million, over 400 million naira in December. And he invested, well, he told me, he didn't give me the exact figure, but he told me he has more than 10%.
I know.
Ownership of Cubana. And Cubana made profit. This guy brings in simple as that. You can see the guy drives. That's normal car. Bought the house in friend's colony. Did it now.
Sorry to you. The thing is, now, just because he's driving that car doesn't mean that he cannot afford more a bigger car. And there's nothing wrong at his level, even if he buys the best version. It doesn't change anything. Why? Because the 5% of what comes in can counter for the best house, the best cars, and all these things. It's not your choice. It's not what do you want to do. You understand? But when we see those people, we think that's the difference between the middle class and the rich. The middle class always want to look like the rich. But they don't know that the rich don't sweat to ride or drive the type of car that they move with. Why the middle class can be driving? You can be driving a G-Wagon with another rich guy. But that G-Wagon is nothing to the rich guy. Why to you, it's everything. If Keke jam that thing, you first spend before you kill the person. You first spend.
You pay full insurance. Your heart.
You know, you can't be living life that way. If you're using only 5% of your money to buy something, you're not going to ask for the price. Have you noticed when you go to buy stuff in different shops, the people that ask for price, once upon a time there are some things I usually ask, how much is this thing? But now I just guys I did because I know that it's less than 1% of what I earn. Do you understand? I won't get to ask. Something that gives you headache to buy. Why buy it if it's not going to give you money? Anything that you have to think, oh God, I have to now calculate, I reach my lifestyle to buy. Ask yourself, is that thing going to bring money into your life or take money out? If it's not going to bring money into your life, why are you getting it? So I was saying something. It is, but it's about discipline. That's why everybody is not rich. It's difficult. That's the reason why everybody is not rich. There's something we were saying, or rather I was saying, about it not being difficult to, I want to do a business, the economy is bad, the risks and all those kind of things. And like I said, when I talk to people, I always get that kind of response, like, okay, there are some ideas and good business that I have, I want to do, but come on, you know that most business, statistics shows that most businesses fail. Yes. Over 80% of any startup fail. Yes. So you have more chances that you're going to lose your money than benefits. So I get this kind of talk. But what's funny is how come I used to hear this new plasma TV that I'm buying is not giving me anything. Nobody talks about that. The money you use to buy that big wall TV that is almost 1 million naira, if you go to ShopRite and all those places, people buy it and they don't ask. But if you say you risk this money, even if you lose it, you think you've lost. You've gained exposure, experience.
That doesn't fall well with you.
It doesn't fall well, but
you say you gain exposure. Yes, I understand that life is a risk. Sometimes it's good to take risks, but you must indulge yourself once in a while. If you go and you buy this TV, and you feel, yes, as I said, it's not adding, and it is just entertainment. It's not basic entertainment or information. Yes, taking away, yes, but you can't totally say do not indulge yourself because you want to. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
There's a difference between your coat
according to your size, exactly.
No, if you want the 1 million, so I want to buy it. You can't tell me because I should.
I would say that. Let me say it. I would say that that's the difference between the rich and middle class or poor. You have to see. There's what you call sacrifice if you have an ultimate goal that you're looking for. That's why everybody's not there. You understand? This thing that you said is over 80% to 95% of the population will say the same thing. Come on, there's nothing there. Why can't I just buy a nice car or TV or nice shirt? I like it. I have the money. I can't tell you. Yeah, you can. Really, if you want to. But you cannot complain while you're not rich if you're doing that. You understand? You have to. The truth, that is the bitter truth. You have to understand finance and money. If you don't respect money, money will not respect you. So if you use that money to buy TV, guess what do that TV will do? You know why I say it will take away? It's not going to leave you on zero. It will actually leave you on minus. Zero means it's not giving you anything. It's just there. But let me tell you why it will take you on minus. That TV, you must use that TV. And what do you think you use that? What would you use? How would you use that TV? It's your time. If you don't have TV, you have time to do other things. But guess what? Yeah, I have TV now, and since I use my money to buy this TV, I have to watch it. And guess what? TV is very addictive. Programs and all those things. From watching it 30, don't worry, just 30 minutes later, I'm going to watch it. You find yourself watching season for 5 hours. Someone else like you, that 5 hours is what. If I'm in the trade market on cryptocurrency, I know what I can get with 5 hours. But guess what? If I get a TV worth 1 million, man, I want to watch that TV. I want to play a game or do stuff with that TV. I am losing, but I do not know I'm losing for immediate pleasure. And then you do not do it. I want to be like Dangote. How? You think Dangote did that, or any business people did that? If you don't understand what assets and liability is and what to put your money on, then you will always live month in, month out financial roller coaster.
I want to add this. Yes, you need to identify assets, liability. But you also mentioned it. That discipline is that key. Vision, that objective, that goal.
It depends on how hungry you are. What do you want?
Because if you identify the asset and you don't have that discipline, you don't have that vision,
then it's useless.
First of all, for you to obtain money from an asset, you need to have patience.
Okay.
For example.
Now, Warren Buffett. You know his first business? Ball machine. That's his first business. How did he start? He started by putting it in a shop, begged the shop owner, please let me just do it. After that, he multiplied that in different places. That's how he started. That's the way he started. Once you get some amount of money, it's a lot of pleasure. There's a lot of things you really want to do with that money. What you do with the money determines how wealthy you will be. That is a fact. That is a fact. No matter what you are, whether you can be a footballer, entertainer, whatever, what you use your money to do determines how wealthy. Now, let me twist it into, even if you say, oh, okay, I'm talented in singing or stuff, and I want to be like Whiskey or Davido or so how does this kind of thing affect me, right? Now, and then you have the money to buy TV. Instead of going to the studio, pay money, renting a studio, or spending your money to go out and meet people and all this kind of thing, you buy a TV and you stay at home. You think you'll ever be like Whiskey and Davido?
I want you to be
Either you're a footballer, anything you do, the thing is, spend your money on something, even if it doesn't get you there, you will get to learn. That's another thing. if I say, oh, I want to try this business, I put my money, it still mess me up. I lose all my money. I'm smarter than someone that never tried. It's easy, but it's
I've lost money. It's
difficult. But exactly. But guess what?
Trust, man.
But guess what? You've learned a lot about who to trust and who not to trust. Somebody that have not done that. Somebody that have not done what you've done, right? When you go out to the business world, who do you think will succeed more? Who do you think will be smarter? Who do you think will be able to sense danger?
Look at these things in two ways. You can't just look at one side.
Okay.
Now, for example, now who said he lost money. I'm assuming, I don't know, that this money was just well.
Yes, yeah, just
you get the money and you use it. You go into a business like, people can enter it with pride. This is money.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
What if you take a loan?
So
and you lose
it. You cry about it. You swear to pay it.
Swear to pay it from where, Kwanu?
From
then why do you
anywhere.
take the loan?
From where,
Listen. So people that take loan, to buy TV, you have to compare it.
People that take loan
to do party, to marry. No, think about which one is better. That's the question. We have to be fair in both ends. He took loan for a business. He lost. It's crying. Someone took loan to buy a TV. It's also crying.
No, you know the difference between taking loan.
So
I think it's very stupid to
take a loan to do party or for wedding.
Still stupid for some people. It's not stupid though.
Exactly. That's no, but no, it happens. Some people take loan to buy car. And the car don't bring anything to them. Instead, it takes away. Some people take loan to wed also. But why is it that you don't hear people crying about that? But instead you hear people cry, oh, I did a business and it failed. Or what if I go to a business and I fail? But you hardly hear, oh, I want to take a loan to buy a car. And you wonder. Anybody that tell me that today, I'll always ask that question. This car you're going to buy, how much is it going to be getting? It's going to be giving. Is it more than that loan? If it's not more, then what are you doing? So if you take a loan to buy a car and you take a loan to start a business and that business fails, what's the difference between you and the person that buys a car? You both will still have to sweat somehow to pay the loan. But the
let me tell you one of the major
difference is the person that buys a car, zero experience. The person that started a business has learned a lot.
Exactly.
You have a business. Can you remember how you were before you started a business? The things you have. If they say that you remove all your experience and bring that brain off before you start the business back, which one do you think? That is an asset. That's an asset. You know that spending money on education is an asset. What's education? It's the same thing as spending money on experience.
Ignorance is expensive, man.
It's expensive. It's something else. And what does experience cure? Ignorance.
Yeah.
What does experience? You're not more ignorant in your business, but someone that's just starting is ignorant. And you have more experience, you can advise that person.
If you know what Dangote knows, you
will not be where you are. If you know what he knows, there's something. Let me tell you guys something. Do you know that Warren Buffett's tax rate is 2.5%, while the secretary is 35%? Do you know that the rich doesn't really pay much tax? Do you know how? Let me tell you.
Because they are contributing.
So let me even tell you the reason why.
Trump found a way.
Let me tell you why. Or before I tell you guys why, let me give you guys a true life story. Once upon a time, there was nothing like taxes. There was nothing like that. I know that I started from the West now, England and America. Once upon a time, there was no tax even in United Kingdom and in America. There was something like that.
Who was people that are actually collecting the tax at churches?
Let me give a true life story.
Well, it's true now.
Let me give a true life story. Once upon a time, there was nothing like tax.
Okay.
I think I zoomed you. I don't know how I did that.
So in England then, we all know about this, what do you call this guy again? Robin Hood story. You know, the guy that steals from the rich and gives to the poor. You know, then the whole population then they loved that story. They were so into it. And then the government introduced something then and say, in fact then, taxes then, they only tax people when it's time for war and some major development. They'll say, oh, they'll announce to the public, okay, there's so and so thing, maybe there's a war going on there. They need people to contribute so and so percent, you know, depending on what you earn to fund war. You know, then, so because people bought into this Robin Hood story and all that, so the government used that to say, okay, let's do this. Let's tax the rich, right? So that we can use that money to help the poor. And then, of course, because most people, in every society, most people are poor. 1% of the population controls 99% of the wealth. You understand? So everybody bought into that story. It's a good stuff. Let's tax the rich and
that was the death of the world.
Yeah.
That was the death of corruption.
The world.
So, at a point, the government appetite grew, and they became more greedy, and they say, wow, let's see if we can trickle down this tax to everybody. After a while, they did it. Of course, it succeeded. You know, oh, you guys, because you earn low, your tax will definitely be lower. That's the normal stuff. You know. But the rich people got too smart on that. What do you think they decided to do? Corporation. Today, your tax percent is lower than your MD's tax percent. You know what corporation is? When you think of corporation, I know you will always think about, oh, you did company, all these kind of things. It's just paper, few sheets of paper. How does that work? If you don't know, you can do your research to find out how corporations are being taxed. They are taxed after expenses. You know what that means? After expenses, you know what that means? After the cost of running the business. this is the highest scam that the rich people have used. After the cost of running the business, that's when you're being taxed. It is normal.
That's mad.
Do you understand?
That's mad, yeah.
After the cost of running your business, therefore, if I'm the
You
owner
pay
of
your
the company,
salary yourself also.
of course. So if I'm running a company, the company is worth $1 billion, right? I can decide to buy private jets, G-Wagon, 5 of them.
That's not expensive.
Of course.
That's not expensive.
Not the company.
Interesting.
I will buy all this, but you, as a boy, if you buy it, your tax will increase. Do you understand? I can afford to buy all those things and put it under the expenses of what? The corporation. Who is the corporation? It's you and I that are working under that company. But it's a fact. This is reality. It's you and I that, so they can afford to drive private jet, and it's all under the company name. But guess what? Once you spend money under the company name, fired for corruption. Seplat. Yeah, we don't call any company, but most companies they'll fire you for corruption. But guess what? Every other thing, that the lifestyle, the house that the owner of the company will live, everything is put as expenses. Do you understand? So now, wait. Now, after the expenses, of course, what?
Trump succeeded now.
After those expenses,
Trump did better.
after those expenses, what is left is what the government tax. Meaning is what you don't even is left over. That's why the government will now take some percentage out to tax you to pay.
Because Nigeria is like very low and now it is well.
So when you're working,
everybody has to own his own company.
Who pays the piper dictates the tune. They are funding politicians, they dictated the laws.
oh no, but then it's the rich being smart. Yeah. It has nothing to do with, they're just smart about it.
They made the rules basically.
They were just not
And
really
they made
like
it to
they
favor
made the
themselves.
rules. They were just smart. about now
if
they
you
pay
read,
their tax.
if you read more
You can't
of,
tell them that they don't pay their tax.
okay, when Trump was trying to contest for the president, and the issue came up, he has not been paying tax. Like he found a way. He said that he was smarter than the American system, and it's just the same way. It's just similar ways as well too. Basically, these rules were made then by let's say elites, exactly, and they made it to favor them. You understand? So it's about and if you're not among them, it's difficult. You can't get this privilege. So it's just to find a way to join that distance. And from what he said now, it's just a paper. It's not like we're talking of corporation. It's not mustn't be a building and stuff like that.
It's paperwork. And guess what? If today Dangote wants to build maybe a shopping mall, if today he wants to build a shopping mall, the day he wants to do a public meeting on that, you know how many banks will show up? What do you think those banks are coming to show up? Let me tell you something that will blow your mind that you don't understand. Most of these buildings that you see in Lagos, they are built with free, but they are owned by people. Let me continue the example.
On that.
That's why I say let me continue with the example of if Dangote wants to do the shopping mall, what happens? You will see all the banks will come, ready to give him a loan.
They'll be begging.
This house, this building, whatever it is, has already been designed. There's no money. He has not put one of his naira into it. But what do you think will happen? You see business banks begging. They want to give him the money. They want to finance that building.
Remember the list now of rich men and the amount of money they are owing banks.
Let me give you one of a similar example to what you're saying now is these that Orile my 2 expressway, right? That road is being constructed by CECCC, this Chinese company. Yeah. The money they're using to construct that road is China that loaned Nigeria that money.
Yes.
China loaned, I think I saw some $30 billion. China loaned Nigeria $30 billion and put their own company to construct it.
If airports,
do you think they actually did not pay any money? Because it's their company that is constructing it. It's just the expenses of the workers
and what you're talking about them is even a government affair.
This is
government,
yeah, I understand.
But a private person wants to give $10 now wants to do something, or one of these big men wants to do something. He won't spend $1 to build a skyscraper. People come because they will come and finance it for him.
You know that he's getting money regularly.
Exactly.
So
why do you think?
No,
why do you think? Why do you think that? Do you know why? Because of the amount of assets that he has. I made that example so that we'll drive back to why we are here, assets and liability. If you don't focus on spending 95 of your money on getting assets, forget it. Don't dream to be rich. Don't dream to be rich. Just don't dream to be rich.
Another thing, I want to say
last long first
an addition to what I've said. If you want to be rich, solve just 1% of Nigeria's problem. In fact, 0.5. We are over 200 million in this country. And if you can solve 0.5%,
the cost doesn't matter. Imagine if it's not like when he say problem is any value that you can add, any value that you can add, any value you can add, no matter what it is, any value you can add, no matter what it is. You see, this one. There's a water. Have you thought about the person that owns gala?
It don't make them now.
Only you. Do you know how many millions of people ate 2 gala yesterday? And you think it's just because it's 15 naira?
Yeah, don't make a move.
Because it's something that you just eat.
Okay, it's 100
If 1 million people can buy your product and your cost price and your
whatever it
profit
is.
is
You know,
29.
You have made it.
The house in Abuja, but the gate man, every time we finish using Nestle or any big bottle, we come and see the man, give him. I didn't used to understand. One day I saw this guy. I don't know if it makes sense, but he was giving. I don't know how they do the recycling, whether they give it back to Nestle or what. I don't know. What I know is that this boy was adding value to his pocket with my box. Giving them, and they were counting money. This Hausa guy is that pass. They were counting money and giving Barnabas at the gates. Maybe some said it's another that put it inside his pocket. I said, how? I called him, what are you doing? He said, all these bottles. I said, I'll take it and go and give them money, not small money. He has solved that problem. The outside guys know how they do.
Yeah,
they don't solve problems, but you don't collect money.
Exactly. Add value. What do you think? What do you think that it doesn't have to be something too big? What do you think that everybody needs? I can look and say, there are over 100 million women in Nigeria, and I know say they like weed.
Why weak?
How does give me money now?
No, but like,
It's the way forward.
no, what I'm saying is, you know what people's problems are. You know what people's problems are. It could be even. It could be writing a. It could be writing a book. It could be writing a book. It could be producing a.
You're not the only one thinking.
Just something that you know that people will consume and it will add value. Anything. Do it. You see the difference. Now, do you think that to do those things is cheap? It's not. You need money. Guess what? You will have to use your money to start before any other person wants to support
Can invest in you.
But if you're using that your money to buy so many liabilities, how would you have money to buy to start? Because putting your money into something you want to do is investing in an asset. If I want to be a motivational speaker, I earn some amount of money, right? The first thing that I want to do is, how do I learn public speaking? I won't sit down in my